What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the show. So today we're going to talk about the 3 things that I did to retire in my 40s. And yes, I retired in my 40s, although I will be 50 in a couple of weeks. I was able to retire before I turned 50. So we're going to talk a little bit about the things that I did in order for me to retire early. But first off, on this channel, we talk about financial news and more. If that sounds like something interesting to you, please subscribe to the channel and hit that little bell notification. That way you'll get notified anytime we put out a video. And like always, if you see my name and a picture of me in the comment section, make sure you also see a check mark next to my name. That check mark signifies that it's me. If you do not see that check mark, it's not me. It's someone trying to impersonate me. Okay, so I'm going to do a series of videos on retirement. So if you guys, I announced this a couple of weeks ago, or maybe it was last week, that I will be retiring. Right now I'm on vacation. I'll go back for 1 day and then I'm done. And so I want to talk about how I got to this point, how I made this happen. And so there were 3 different things that I did. Now, everyone's different. Okay, I'm just telling you, this is my story. This is how I did it. So I'm not a financial advisor or anything like that. So make sure if you want to learn more about how to retire early, talk with a financial advisor. However, this is the way that I got to the point where I felt comfortable retiring. Okay, so the first thing that I did, and this is going to take some time. Okay, so this is not something that you can just do overnight and say, you know what, I'm retiring the next day. You're going to have to take some time to kind of figure this all out. And for me, it started with my job. Okay, so when I went to apply for these different jobs, there was one thing that I was looking for in all these jobs, and that was a pension. Okay, not all jobs will offer you a pension. So I was looking for the jobs that offered a pension. I was more concerned with the benefits and not the hourly wage or the salary. That's what my focus was. What can this job offer me benefit wise? Also, what does the medical plan look like? And is this something that I can retire on and be able to get medical, free medical, or do I have to pay into medical? Do I have some type of credits when it comes to that? So a lot of those things, that's what I was looking at. That's what I was focused on. There are a lot of people who can't retire because of their medical plan, because they're in a situation where if they retire, now they're going to have to get medical on their own, and they're going to be paying a lot of money for that. And so it doesn't afford them the opportunity to retire. And that's something that you're going to want to look at. And you can look at that when you start looking for these new jobs. So for me, the focus was pension. Does it have a pension? If it offers a pension, that's what I want. And the main reason for that, and you have 401ks, you have these different retirement plans, but when it comes to a pension is for life. So once I retire, I'll be receiving a pension for the rest of my life. Whereas if it's like a 401k, yes, you'll receive money, but that money can run out. And when that money runs out, you might be stuck in a situation where now you're only receiving Social Security, and that's not enough. Social Security should only compensate for about 40% of your retirement. So that was the thing that I was looking for. I wanted a pension. I wanted something that was going to last for the rest of my life, and not something where, let's say, even if I have $1 million on a 401k, it can still run out before I pass away. So I'll be in a situation where there could be a time where my financial situation will change drastically because I'll lose that 401k, and now all I have left is Social Security. So pension, number 1, that's something you should look for. Now, not all jobs offer a pension. So if you're working as a teacher or working for the government, you might be able to get a pension, but some jobs, they're just not going to offer it. So the pension helped steer me in the right direction when it came to the jobs I was looking for. And so that's where I went. The first thing, pension. Okay, so the second thing I want to talk about is the 401k. 401ks, 457s, there are a variety of different retirement plans, IRAs, all those different things that are available to you. Those are something that you want to focus on, and you want to max them out. So in my case, it was a 457 plan that they offered. And this was one mistake that I made. I didn't max out every paycheck. You should max out every paycheck if you can afford to, especially when you're younger. When you're younger, your expenses aren't the same as when you get older and you have a family, you have kids and all that. So that's the time when you really need to max out these 401ks because that's going to help you in the future. When it comes time when you start looking at retirement, the more money you have in a 401k or a 457 plan, that will make it easier for you to transition from working to retirement. So something to really, really focus on. And like I said, that was the mistake that I made. I did not max out my 457 plan. And because I didn't max out my 457 plan, I had to do something else. And that's where investing comes in. So investing, personal investing. So I got out there and started investing in the stock market. Okay. Now this isn't for everyone. However, there are a lot of different ways where you can invest now where you don't have to really do a lot of research. Okay. Now, like I said, I am not a financial advisor. So take what I'm saying with a grain of salt. This is one of those situations where this is what worked for me. So one of the places I invested was in ETFs. Okay. So I want to take a look and just show you guys an ETF here. So this is ETF is an exchange traded fund. Okay, now I know this is a little small. Let's see, can we enlarge this a little bit here? There we go. Okay, so we have the exchange traded fund is a type of security that tracks an index, sector, commodity, or other asset. Okay, so basically what they're doing is they have a bunch of different stocks that are in one ETF. And so you can purchase the ETF and have all these different stocks. So let's say Microsoft, Apple, Walmart, all these different companies. You can get an ETF that has all those companies in that one ETF. Okay, so you can go on the stock exchange, and that's what they're saying here. You can purchase it on the stock exchange the same way that you can purchase a regular stock. Okay, very, very important to understand that this is not something that you need to contact a broker and have all this stuff going on. You don't need all that. All you need to do is have a brokerage account and trade these ETFs. And that's how I did it. So I didn't want to do all the research and think, okay, should I buy Apple? Should I buy Microsoft? Which, by the way, Apple, Microsoft, these are solid companies that are going to be around for years and years. So they're safe bets. But there might be some other companies that you don't know too much about. You don't want to do all that research. Buy ETFs. That's what I would say. And I did a lot of that. And then once I started buying ETFs, and I started to realize, okay, well, you know what? Some of these companies are really strong on their own. Companies like Apple, yes, that's a good investment in my opinion. Okay, now I'm not a financial advisor, but in my opinion, Apple is great. Microsoft is great. There's some companies out there that are just solid companies. And so that's what I did. I started investing as much as I possibly could. And then once I got to the point where I was investing six figures, then I started realizing, okay, yes, this is a good nest egg for retirement. Now, the next thing I want to talk about, the third thing, side hustles. Okay, this is very, very important. If you are interested in retiring early, you need to have a side hustle. Okay, and you need to start that side hustle as soon as you start your regular job. Okay, as soon as you start working in a regular job, start looking at different opportunities for a side hustle. Now, we're talking about real money. We're not talking about these gimmicks and things that are out there. And so with these side hustles, what I wanted to focus on are side hustles that I can do on my own. Okay, I can start my own little business. I didn't want to work for someone else. I didn't want to do like Uber and all those different things like that. I wanted to have a side hustle that I can go out and do. So for me, it was photography because I can pick my clients. I can go out and shoot when I want to shoot. And so I did photography for 10 years. I still do photography. I was shooting weddings, family portraits, all that stuff. And so that was money that I was making, additional money that I was making, and I could do it on the weekend. I can do it on one day on the weekend, as opposed to having a job where you have to work 3 or 4 times per week. This was a lot easier for me. And so photography drew me into travel, which drew me into YouTube. And so those are all different side hustles. Well, travel's not really a side hustle, but YouTube is a side hustle, and YouTube allowed me the opportunity to make a little bit of money on the side. So now I'm making money with photography, and I'm making money with YouTube. And so it got to a point when it comes to side hustles, it got to a point where my 9-to-5 job was making a certain amount of money. And then I also had the side hustle making money. And with the money that I made with my side hustle, I was investing that money. And so I was able to invest a lot more money. So with my 9-to-5 job, I was paying all my bills. And with my side hustle, I was investing that money. And then it got to a point where my side hustle started making more money than my 9-to-5. And when I got to that point, that's when I really started thinking, okay, yes, this is a real reality. I can retire, because now I have enough money invested and enough money in my pension to cover all of my expenses. And as long as I continue doing a side hustle, I'll have that extra money that I want. And if I stop doing the side hustle, I'll still have money invested and my pension, and that will cover my retirement. So I don't have to worry about, let's say, the side hustle, because the only thing about side hustles can end, right? This is a situation where I have to go out and do these different jobs. So if I stop doing those jobs, will I still be able to manage on retirement? And so when I got to a point where I had enough money invested and I had enough money coming in on my pension, then that was it. That I knew, okay, I can retire at this point. And so in my situation, I wanted to wait a little bit longer only because I wanted to max out my pension. And so that's what I did there. But when it comes down to it, that's how I did it. I looked for a pension. I made sure I focused on investing, and I had a side hustle. Those are the three things. Those are the only three things that I focused on, and I was able to retire in my 40s or retire early. Okay, a lot of people don't have the opportunity to retire this early. Most people, and I'll just say California. In California, the average retirement age is 63 years old. 63 years old, and when they retire in their 401k, they have $1.3 million. That's to be comfortable retiring in California. So you have to have over $1 million in your 401k and wait until you're about 63, 64 years old in order to retire. And you're still not guaranteed, because with that 1.3 million, although that might sound like a lot of money, you can still run out of that 1.3 million during your retirement period. And if that happens, now you're in a situation where all you have left is your Social Security, if you're receiving Social Security. And that it would really put you in a bind when it comes to a lot of things. So just something to think about. I just wanted to put that out there when it comes to retirement. I will do some more videos on retirement because I think it's very important for us to be focusing on this early on. Do not wait. And if you do wait, if you do get to that situation where you've waited and you're halfway through your career and you're thinking, okay, how am I going to retire? You just need to amplify the things that I talked about. Okay. Now the pension, not everyone has the opportunity to have a job that has a pension. But if you don't have a job that has a pension, you should really be focusing on that 401k, maxing that out, as well as doing your own investments, maxing that out, and then having that side hustle where you're making additional money. And you might get to that point where that side hustle starts making more money than your 9 to 5. And if you get to that point, then you're really at a point where retirement is very, very possible. Now, when it comes to the side hustles, what I didn't say is the side hustles, this is not an 8-hour-a-day job. Okay. This is something that I'm picking up on the side. And so don't think of it like that, because some people might think, well, you're not really retiring because you're working a side hustle full time. Well, if I'm working a side hustle full time, that's like an hour of my day, maybe 2 hours of my day. That's it. Okay. So that's what I was focused on. I wasn't focused on working another job for 8 hours. I was focused on what can I do to make a nice amount of money for the shortest period of time. And so that's something also to focus on. So I want to know what you guys did. What did you guys do to retire early? Let me know down below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe for more, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.